In the deserts of New Mexico, among spiny cacti and rugged mountains, lie dozens of abandoned towns, silenced by time. These places are time capsules built from rotting wood and crumbling stone, telling stories of fiery ambition, fast fleeting wealth, and sudden economic collapse. From the gold rush of the 1800s to the rise of the iconic Route 66, each ghost town in the land of enchantment represents a crucial chapter in the history of the American Southwest. This episode will take you on a journey through some of the most remarkable ghost towns in New Mexico, exploring their brief glory days, the often sudden reasons behind their downfall, and the silent state they sit in today. First is a town once called the fastest to rise and the fastest to fall, Elizabethtown. Founded in 1866 after a major gold discovery in Willow Creek, Elizabethtown quickly became the first incorporated town in the New Mexico Territory. In no time, its population surged into the thousands, filled with miners, saloons, hotels, and even an opera house. At its peak, it was a hub of activity, offering instant riches to anyone bold enough to try their luck. But the wealth didn't last. The easily mined gold ran out quickly. Combined with brutal winters, water shortages, and a reputation for having the highest murder rate in the region, the town slowly emptied. When a vital water pipe broke in 1872, many residents left for good. Today, Elizabethtown is a quiet, melancholic place. A few abandoned homes, stone foundations, and historical markers are all that remain of its golden past, surrounded by scenic mountains near Eagle Nest Lake. Heading south across the Black Range Mountains, a similar story of silver boom and bust emerges elsewhere. In 1880, a prospector named Harry Pye found silver in what was once dangerous Apache territory. Within a year, Chloride had become a bustling town of around 300 people, complete with a general store, saloons, blacksmiths, and even its own newspaper, the Black Range. But the collapse came fast and hard. In 1893, the U.S. government repealed the Sherman Silver Purchase Act, causing silver prices to crash overnight. The mines in Chloride were no longer profitable, and within weeks, most residents packed up and left. Today, Chloride is known as one of the best preserved ghost towns in New Mexico. Many original buildings still stand, including the Pioneer Store Museum, which serves as a time capsule filled with authentic artifacts from the 1890s. This town offers a rare and vivid glimpse into true frontier life. Just a stone's throw from Chloride is another silver town with a similar fate. Discovered in 1882, Kingston became another boom town in the Black Range. At its peak, it was home to 7,000 people, with more than 20 saloons, 3 hotels, and even an opera house visited by famous singers of the day. Like Chloride, Kingston's fate was sealed by the collapse of silver prices in 1893. The economy crumbled overnight. By the year 1900, only a handful of residents remained. Located along the scenic Highway 152, Kingston today is a small community with a few permanent residents, but many of its historic buildings still stand as reminders of lost wealth. Meanwhile, deep in even more remote backcountry, a tougher gold adventure awaits. Located in a stunningly isolated area of the Gila Wilderness, Mogollon was founded in 1889. The town was known not only for its rich gold and silver, but also for its isolation, making it one of the most wild towns in the West. Mogollon faced constant challenges: flash floods, repeated fires, and extreme seclusion. The drop in gold prices during the Great Depression in the 1930s delivered the final blow. The last mine closed during World War II. Some buildings still stand, and a few people live there seasonally. Even so, the town maintains its remote and slightly eerie charm, with leaning old buildings lining the main street. It's one of New Mexico's more unique tourist stops worth checking out. Shifting from gold and silver, other industries also gave rise to towns that eventually fell. Founded after silver was discovered around 1866, the town originally called Middle Camp rapidly developed as Kelly from 1879. By 1884, it had become a thriving community with over 3,000 residents, complete with a bank, saloons, and a church. But that prosperity was short-lived. As the mines ran out of resources and mineral demand dropped, the population faded. The post office closed in 1945, and the last permanent resident left in 1947. Today, Kelly is mostly in ruins. Its most prominent remnant is the 121-foot-tall steel headframe of the main mine, an abandoned tower overlooking foundations and a cemetery. The site stands as a stark historical reminder of a once thriving community in Socorro County. Kelly is a historic New Mexico ghost town that captures the classic rise and fall cycle of American mining. Beyond the mining boom, many towns in New Mexico also lived and died with the rhythm of the railroad and the fuel needs of industry. One such place is this town. Dawson was historically known as a major coal company town established in 1901. It was a self-sustaining modern community, complete with a hospital, golf course, opera house, and a large general store. Thousands of miners worked there. But Dawson was struck by two of the worst mining disasters in U.S. history. The first explosion in 1913 killed 263 people. A decade later, in 1923, another blast claimed 100 more lives. Though mining operations continued, demand for coal fell sharply when railroads switched to diesel engines in the 1950s. The company shut down the mines, sold off the buildings, and the entire town was dismantled. Nothing remains of Dawson today except a large, well-kept cemetery where rows of identical white crosses stand as a somber tribute to the lives lost. The decline of the railroad also sealed the fate of many smaller communities, and this town is one example. Founded in 1902 at the junction of the El Paso and Northeastern Railway and the Southern Pacific Line, Duran was once a key service point for steam locomotives, equipped with repair facilities and water depots. Just like Dawson, when railroad routes shifted and steam engines were replaced by diesel, Duran's importance faded. Rail traffic dropped, and local businesses couldn't survive. A few old stone buildings and abandoned rail warehouses still line the tracks, which are now rarely used. It wasn't just railway service. Support industries around the tracks also gave rise to short-lived towns. One of them was Ancho. Much like Duran, this town's story began with the arrival of the railroad in 1901, which enabled the opening of the Ancho brick plant that used local clay and gypsum deposits. The plant became the town's lifeline, producing a large number of bricks that were famously used to help rebuild San Francisco after the 1906 earthquake. But Ancho's prosperity didn't last. The brick plant closed in 1921, and the final blow came in the 1950s when U.S. Highway 54 bypassed the town by more than 2 miles. That isolation led to its rapid decline. Today, Ancho is a quiet, sun-baked shell of its former self. A few original buildings remain, including an active church and an abandoned train depot, all located on private property. The town stands as a vivid physical reminder of how infrastructure and industry shaped and ended the lives of many small American towns. Not all ghost towns faded with the railroads or industry. Many were consumed by the march of modern highways. In U.S. history, new highways brought progress, but also sacrificed countless small communities built along older routes. One of the most famous examples is this town. Glenrio is a unique town that straddles the state line between Texas and New Mexico. It came to life with the rise of Route 66 in the 1930s, serving cross-country travelers with motels, gas stations, and iconic cafes. But the construction of Interstate 40 in the late 1960s bypassed Glenrio completely. Traffic vanished overnight, and local businesses closed. Today, Glenrio is one of the most photographed ghost towns along Route 66. Its retro gas station, motel, and cafes still stand, empty but intact, offering a nostalgic glimpse for those chasing the spirit of the original Mother Road. Unlike most ghost towns, this one offers a slightly different experience. Known as a living ghost town, Cerrillos was once an old Spanish settlement that boomed in the mid-1880s after the rediscovery of ancient turquoise mines, along with gold, silver, and lead. However, the main Santa Fe Trail rail line bypassed the town and went through Lamy instead. The mines eventually dried up. Today, Cerrillos isn't a true ghost town, but more of a museum town with art galleries, antique shops, and a few residents who keep the old Wild West feel alive. Interestingly, it's a ghost town that refuses to die completely. In the southern part of the state, the story of a silver fortune that vanished almost overnight still captures attention. Have you ever heard of Lake Valley? The town became significant after its founding in 1878 and rose to fame across the region due to the discovery of the Bridal Chamber, the richest silver vein ever found in New Mexico, producing millions of ounces of pure silver. As in many similar stories, once the wealth ran out and silver prices crashed in 1893, the town was abandoned. Yet, Lake Valley wasn't entirely forgotten. Because of its mining history, it's now managed by the Bureau of Land Management, BLM, as a historic site, with preserved buildings like the old schoolhouse and hospital still standing. From a BLM-managed mine town, we now move to a ghost town that is completely private. Its name brings to mind the great English playwright and poet, William Shakespeare. Originally a Butterfield Overland Trail stage stop called Mexican Springs, the town was renamed Shakespeare during a brief silver boom. It became known for refusing to turn into a stereotypical cowboy town, banning saloons, though it eventually became a hotspot for illegal activity. The railroad skipped it, and the silver deposits dried up. What makes it stand out among ghost towns is that Shakespeare is privately owned and preserved with remarkable authenticity, occasionally open to the public for paid tours. There are no souvenir shops or modern restaurants here. Meanwhile, along the popular Turquoise Trail, another older town tells the story of an early gold rush. As noted in historical accounts, long before the frenzy in California, Golden was the site of the first major gold rush west of the Mississippi River, beginning in 1825. Originally known as Rio de San Francisco, the town drew thousands of miners hoping to strike it rich. However, Golden's glory was short-lived. The gold found near Tuerto Creek was quickly depleted, and most of the population moved on. What was once a booming town shrank into a quiet farming community, and its post office closed in 1928. Today, Golden is a small community along the scenic Turquoise Trail, home to the old San Francisco de Asis Catholic Church and a rustic general store. Looking back to the mining regions of the Southwest, there's another area once centered around iron ore. Fierro, located in Grant County, was once a thriving mining town. From the late 1800s, this area was a hub for mining iron ore, zinc, and copper, drawing in waves of workers and settlers. According to authors who've chronicled America's ghost towns, Fierro's boom began to fade in the mid to late 20th century. A decline in demand and profits led to the gradual shutdown of large-scale mining operations. Now, what remains of this once busy town is rubble. Little is left but rusted mining infrastructure and crumbling buildings, a silent witness to a bygone industrial era. Finally, back in the Black Range area lies a town that managed to survive, at least in part. Founded in 1877 after a gold discovery, Hillsboro grew to become the county seat and largest town in the region, with thousands of residents, lawyers, and politicians. As with many others, falling silver prices and dwindling gold supplies triggered a steady population decline. Today, Hillsboro is still a living community, though much smaller than during its heyday. It remains a peaceful, scenic town with many well-preserved historic buildings. Ghost towns in New Mexico are powerful reminders of how fleeting fortune can be and how deeply economic shifts shape human lives. From gold veins that dried up in months to railroad routes that moved or highways that were rerouted, each ghost town tells the same story. They are casualties of progress. Today, they stand as silent monuments to the pioneers, miners, and travelers who once called them home. Visiting these places is not just a journey into the past. It's a chance to reflect on the cycles of growth and decay that define human history. In these quiet deserts, history isn't dead. It only sleeps, waiting to be rediscovered by those who are willing to listen to the stories whispered by the wind through empty windows.